Hi, this is Kathy Reward, and I have been an esthetician for 35 years, a holistic esthetician. Today I'm going to be demonstrating one of my favorite treatments, my Korean facial treatment, and it is the O2 lift. It's an oxygen facial. I just love it to death. Korean technology has just changed aging, which I'm just so thrilled to share with all of you. And what we're going to do is kind of record the whole thing, and I'll just go through and talk to you about different things that I'm doing and show you some of the exciting things that can be done with anti-aging today. So let me turn and get the camera on my victim here, and I think we're going to do a good job here. I'm going to be using all of Desembre from Korea, and I'm also going to incorporate the new Sea Skin. I have a few things also from them. I have some ampules and some of their serums. So we're going to start with just a cleanse, and I'll tell you what products that I'm using as we go. And then after I finish, I will go through all the products that I used in this. So the first one I'm going to be using is the Creamy Mousse Cleanser. And this is so nice. It's nice to have a little mousse and kind of work things around. What has changed so much, I think, in technology, 35 years is a long time to be doing this. I've seen so much come and go. But what I see in the new future is the technology to actually change the dermis of the skin. At this point, we've lost our dermal layer. It's pretty weak. The blocks have been knocked out. And so we have the technology with different ingredients to build that dermis back up, to take care of things like glycation. And I think that's what excites me more, because being 69, I'm all about anti-aging and having a clientele that's in that area too. So I'm just doing a quick first cleanse on her. And I'm not wearing gloves because it's my cousin. I don't care if she gets sick. No, not really. All right, let's get that all taken care of. I like to do a double cleanse, and I actually sometimes will do a triple one because I love the oxygen, the O2. Let's see where the name is. I gotta get my glasses on. The Oxy Peel Bubble Mask, which is wonderful. And so I have a tendency always to use too much of this. But I love the way it just gets down and bubbles up, and I think my clients like that too. Today we're going to add some things to the O2 mask. I'm going to infuse some oils into her skin. I'm going to be using, show you how the leaf works, because I love my leaf. It has all different, 3 different settings on what you can do for anti-aging. And so we're getting this all sudsed up. As you can see, I have a tendency to use too much. And so 1 pump is all you need. And sometimes I just get really carried away. Get a nice warm towel on her. Just kind of let that relax her. And while this is setting for a few seconds, I'm going to mix up some my enzyme peel powder gentle cleanser. And again, just going to put a little bit in a bowl. And I like to use my toners. I like to use my Matatoc Mist, which is Desembre also. I think it just makes it that much better. Let me grab a... And you just work it into a foam. And that is so nice. All right. This is all, I noticed that Desembre is also softening all their cleansers. It just softens the skin so much. I have people that tell me that they don't cleanse their skin. I just use water. Well, you know, that's just like brushing your teeth with water. You know, we take showers, but our skin is our, like I call it, the third kidney, because it's our detox. So anything that's not supposed to be in your body is coming out your skin too. And a lot of times certain things that show up is your skin's reflecting what's happening inside. So I've got this all blended in, and I'm just going to rub it in a little. I also like to use I have a little scrubber that, of course, I forgot to bring it in here, that can scrub this down too. With some of these, I'm going to be doing a nano needling on her with some serums. So I don't want to over exfoliate the skin. I'm going to use the O2 mask, and we'll see it. It's kind of fun to watch because it just bubbles and bubbles and bubbles and really oxygenates the skin. Okay, I'm going to let the skin dry pretty good, and then I'm going to, this is the leaf, and I'm going to, it's got 3 settings on it, if you can see it. The first setting is, we turn it on, it's going to be plasma mode, and what this does is it makes real fine microchannels in the skin, and it's important to do it on dry skin. So I'm just kind of letting her skin dry. Okay, let's see what it's going to do. Is that too strong? Okay, let me turn it up. Sometimes you have to start a little bit at the beginning to see. Everyone's different, but I will usually do this for quite a while. I'm working on her areas that, of course, we've got to do the neck. That's where we start aging. And so a lot of these today that I'll be doing just like halves, you know, instead of doing 10 minutes, I'll be doing like 5 minutes just for time's sake. And those little microchannels. Then when I start getting my ampule concoction in, it's going to really penetrate deep, because that will using the pin, my Revita pin, it's going to make microchannels also, but they're going to be a little bit deeper. So I'm going to turn that off for right now. And I'm going to spray her face. I'm using my Lucas pulverizer, and it has, I have used, made a concoction of my about 10% Madetox mist with some distilled water to hydrate her skin. I've used this for years, and I have just, very rarely will I ever use a steamer anymore. But what this does is it takes the mixture, and it's from France, and it breaks it down to the smallest molecule. So it's penetrating. You know, it's amazing how people think that something's going to change their skin, but it has to have a small molecule, and it has to be in a, what I call skin submarines, but in a liposome or all right, to get and travel down to the dermis to heal the skin. So I just kind of moisturize your skin. And then what I've done is I've made a concoction out of Desembre EGF whitening, de-aging micro. I'm using the Sea Skin ampule that's brand new, and the PDRN. And so I'm making a little concoction here, and I'm going to pin this in. And I'm just always one for, oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We're going to really make it work. So I'm going to take my pen. What I think I'll do also is, let's see, put a hydrator on, the C9 hydrator. And I've really been liking that. But of course you could use your galactomyces, you could use your vitamin C's. All right. So I'm going to set my pin on about, I want to get this PDRN. PDRN is, it's a word about 75 letters, but what it is salmon sperm. And they developed, Korea has, they actually raise these just for this. It has to be male, of course, and they farm these, but this has been used for decades. It's a medical grade ingredient that they can inject into eyes, knees, all different. They've been using it for body parts for a long time. And what it does is it detoxifies the cells in your body and reactivates new cell growth. So I actually had one done recently of gene therapy in my eye, so which is improving my macular. I'm in a test program. So it's exciting to see some of the things. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my serum that I've mixed up and blend it all over the face. And I'm going to do her neck, and I've got my needle setting it very low because that's what they kind of tell you to do with the PDRN. And so my pen is going to be making these microchannels in the skin, and I'm just going to penetrate all these ampules. My concoction that I have made, and I'm really excited about all the new ampules that are coming out with the there's goat milk, there's and the PDRN and the snail slime, which sounds terrible, but you know they're growth factors, so they're going to improve the skin also. They're going to generate the collagen. We're getting this way down, so we're going to see tremendous softening and restructuring of the skin. So we'll get her forehead. I'm not overzealous on this. But we're able to, at a low setting, work on the eyes. And I saw, just with the PDRN, I did my own trials the first of the year. And I saw such improvement in some of the aging, the deeper wrinkles and around the eyes. So I was pretty excited about. Whenever something new comes out, I have a group of my clients that are my test victims, and so we're always testing something. And of course, it's the ones that, like myself, that are in my age group that are really having the lines around the mouth, the deeper lines on the face, and the eye area. And I've seen so much. I always take before and after pictures of my clients when I start, and make sure you get behind the ear, because that's where a good muscle is that helps with dryness and repairing the skin. But you know, our whole goal here, and why we're penetrating this down into the dermis, is to create a dermis. You know, we've kind of lost that. We start losing stem cell growth factors about 25. We lose about 2% a year. You know, so you think, well, why? Where has this come from? This has come from this muscle right here. So, and the more that we work, these new ampules in that have come out with all the peptides in them, the more building blocks we're going to create to firm up the skin. And I think that the big thing too right now, the trend, is fat building. And again, that's why we have our I call them Yogi Bear, because that's and the lips, because it's from this muscle right here. So I'm just doing a quick here, getting into the eye area. Let's get a little bit more serum on here. This could also be done, this is for Desembre, and Susie just brought out from Sea Skin the stamp, and I'll show you that in just a second, how this could be incorporated into your protocol also. You know, you can do a plain one, but I always have to add a little bit more. My clients usually come see me every month, and I like to do something different on them. You know, it's my job to make corrections and to their skin, and they've got to see an improvement. I'm going to get right down here too on this little age spot. Looks like an actinic keratosis, and kind of work it off of there. I have good luck of getting these worked off. I have good luck with this, as far as I've had a couple of cancer people that have had those port scars, and I've wiped them out in a matter of 6 weeks, because this really will do. This is why pinning something in like this, you either have microchannels, or it depends what state you're in. It's very effective in scars, and again, if you look at deep wrinkles from you know, all kinds of deep acne scarring and so forth, and glycation. All right, here is Susie's stamp, and this, it's a little bit tougher. There's a, you can see it. I'm going to take the top off, and you can rebuy the pins. This is good for home use, and these just came out. And I know a lot, I started using rollers about 10 years ago, and then I trained my customers that were responsible enough to do them and not hurt themselves to how to do it at home. I would give them the ampules. You got to be smarter in getting this out. All right, here's what we have. You turn it on, and you've got your LED also. And what you do is you stamp like this. So this would also work. Now, does this hurt? Okay. So you can work it in the areas that you really want to concentrate on. And you want to be very, very careful. So you could, do this in place if you didn't have a nano pin. And these are very economical to use. Like I said, I think that I'm going to be using it. And you've got the little LED, and you can repurchase the pins as yours wears out. So that's your other option. So now what I'm going to do at this point is I want to really work all these serums in before I do the O2 mask. So I'm going to take my 24 karat gold collagen gel, and I'm going to work that in. And at this point would be great to do your client's massage. And I'm going to kind of work this in, and then I'm going to use my leaf again, but I'm going to use it in the second mode. And the second mode is electrophoresis. And what that's going to do is that's going to even purge, it's going to activate the cells, it's going to take these down to the dermis where they're supposed to be, and so we can create new collagen growth, and that's what's going to give us the firming of our skin. So I'm just going to kind of stop there for time's sake. Again, I'm going on the second, and turn it on. I'm going on the second thing, which is, and I'm going to go on 2, and I'm going to start working this in to just penetrate those deep down into the dermis. And this softens the skin, and this facial will stay nice for so long. Now, usually when you have these, they have these little beepers. Well, and telling you how long you've been in each place. Well, I don't know. The lady, I guess, got irritated with me. She doesn't talk to me anymore. That tells you how long you've been there. But it's so plumping, which is nice for the client, especially if they're going so. And I will do the same protocol with, today I'm doing the O2 oxygen, and I'll do the same protocol where I'll do an O2 oxygen, and then do that first, and then I'll penetrate all my ampules in, and then I will do the V-line. So I love to put those two together because the V-line is, most Korean medical companies all have the V-line because it's just what it says, the V-line. They want that definite, they have rounder faces, but they want that V-line in the look here. And it just is so tightening, and if you're going someplace special, it really makes it nice and tight. And that's what we're looking for. And it improves it also. So I'm going to work around her eyes to get all that penetrated in. This is just one line that I carry. I love the Koreans. They are the top of their field medically. They have a whole different arsenal of ingredients, and everything is so much more holistic and natural because most of their things come from the sea. We don't peel the skin like Western aesthetics does and cause so much irritation. We use what's called spicules and things like that that come from coral calcium or different ingredients from the sea that work at a dermal layer. So I've worked this in. Again, I would, if I wasn't filming, I would do longer. Okay, now I'm going to take and let me tell you what the O2 does, the O2 peel. All right, let me find my directions here. It's an Oxyjet Elixir. So I'm going to apply this another serum onto the skin. And then what I'm going to take is the O2 mask. And this is the O2 mask. I always have a pair of scissors around because I never can rip it with my teeth. This is wonderful for acne. It provides life, it's lightening, it's anti-aging, it's moisturizing, and so we're going to apply this to the face. Now I find that the masks and sheet masks and things that come from Korea and for the Asian, their mouths are small. So sometimes you might have to cut it a little bit. So we've got that, and you're going to see it start bubbling up, just like it says. And what I'm going to do as it starts bubbling is I'm going to get a spatula and a bowl and actually start, as it builds up, I'm going to leave this on for about 10 minutes. And just let it do its thing. You can see it working on the skin. And again, this is one of the big treatments in Korea also. So I'm just going to start scraping this because it's going to keep bubbling up. And this can be a standalone, or like I said, you can incorporate it with other things like I did with the pen and the ampules and put the PDR in to regenerate new cell growth. And the PDRN, again, is the salmon's sperm. Oh, it's just so rich in nutrients. And there's other things that they use, too, that I've just had to learn I'm still learning a whole terminology about. They use glycomyces, which is, if I remember right, it is sake, fermented sake, and it's so moisturizing, much more moisturizing than hyaluronic acid. So they use a lot of that. They use a lot of Koreans, use a lot of Asiatics or Centennial Asiatics and oh gosh, here you guys. I have to read it. And lots of the peptides, the Botox peptides, they're all different ones in there. I'm going to make a list of what I used, and then you see if it fits into something you'd like to try. And I'm kind of doing this for 2 people, just for training on this, and then also so my clients can see how far facials have come in the fight on aging. I'm going down with I'm going to fight it to the very end. And I think that it works because at 69, I've got some drooping, but I still don't have any wrinkles yet, which is kind of fun. So we're just getting this off as it foams up. I would show you the box that it comes in, but for shipping purposes, they took it out of the box. So otherwise, but I'm sure you can, it's on my website and on our page with Susie from Desembre in Hawaii. So if you want to learn more, you can either contact me or Susie, who's just wonderful, who has introduced me to all this stuff. She's just been fantastic. So we're just letting this oxygen just get into the skin and do what it's supposed to do. You could also, at this point, which I've done before, is you could take the leaf again and turn it on electrophoresis, and that's the second. And you can see that it has the LED, and you can work this into the skin. I'm all about getting that into the skin. And this doesn't hurt you, right? But you can feel it. I have it on 2. Mm-hmm. Do you feel it more? Mm-hmm. Okay. What I've done too with this, and I'll show you again because I might just do another mask after this, hydration or collagen mask. Since we're using the PDRN, we could use that as the final touch. You could do this at the beginning and then use another mask at the end. Because Korea is all about 10-step facials, 10-step treatments. They have them almost every week. And their goal is to have glass skin. And that's what I have seen more so with Eastern aesthetics too. Same way with some things that come from, well, of course, my other line comes from Paris. I'm going to be doing some treatments from there. But I've got this all worked in. And again, you can let it go the whole 15 minutes, but I'm going to like I said, this is great for acne if you have acne clients, and to incorporate it in with the acne line from Desembre Clinic. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but I know it just really is a nice treatment for someone that has those problems. Again, I'm going to turn on my Lucas, and I'm going to spray her. Now, sometimes I'll do two things. Sometimes I can put in a cream mask. They have a wonderful cream mask, Desembre, and sometimes I'll put a layer of that plus some on top. I'm going to put a PDRN. Let's see. Hydro Calming. Let's see which one I'm using. The 7 peptide is what I'm going to be using today. And okay, let's get some serum on here. Get it going out. I'll let my water heat up there. So, okay, so what I've done so far is I've done actual 3 different types of 2 cleansers, and I did the enzyme peel. I've worked with Matatox Mist. I'm going to mist her right now. And again, the other one that has just been introduced by Susie is grab it too. Stick a little bit more on there. We just have to have lots of it. From the Sea Skin that she has just introduced. And this is an ampule. And you think our little ampules come in sizes like this. So it's going to last a long time. I'm just going to put some on her skin and blend it in. So I like to get, when I'm working on my clients, I like to get all over their chest and their neck. I don't charge. That's in the price of the facial, because I think that's, you know, the neck and eyes go first. So I've always incorporated, it's 35 years, but it's probably longer than that, somewhere in the early 80s that I started this. And like I said, if you like, you can always, if you want to put a little cream mask, if you want to put some eye cream, I'm going to put some of the Desembre True Fill-Up in the eye zone area. Before let me turn that. Oh, we got to get around the mouth too. So again, I'm going to take the 7 peptide mask, Pepta mask. And then there's so much serum in here that I'm actually going to, now that we've got, I'm actually going to send it home with her so she can use it for the next couple days. She'll just put it in the refrigerator and just kind of make this go a little bit farther. So stick it on there. This is one of my favorites. I've always worked with ampules because I've always been Eastern, and all the European countries that are the products that I have sold have always had your collagen masks and your ampules to work in. It so makes a facial so nice, and you can really see the difference. And there's several things you can do at this point. Normally what I will do is I will do a foot massage. Get this all organized here. And kind of let it set. And of course, you know, we're not blasted by all these lights and we have nice music. I like to, I don't know, the foot massage, and then I really balance them out with essential oils and so forth. But like back to this mask, because there's enough in here, serum, for another couple days. They'll just put it in the refrigerator. So we're just going to let this set. I probably won't leave it all the time that's necessary. At this point, you can also take and use your, there's several things you can do here. You can do your gua sha, you can do your jade roller, you could also use the electrophoresis on the leaf, and sometimes, like with the holistic mask, where there's going to be more sensation in the skin, which I'm going to be videotaping that procedure next week. You got to kind of be careful because the skin will feel like it's just like a cat licking you. So you'll feel a sensation where the spicules are, because again, we're not burning the top layers of the skin to create inflammation. We're sending the spicules down into the dermis and epidermis, between it, and it's detoxifying the bad cells, the ones that are the free radicals, and it's generating new collagen and new, so it really speeds things up, just like when I did excessive peeling ever since the early 80s, and I saw so much damage, and now we know that there is damage, because when you damage the skin is 15 layers, the epidermis is 15 layers. It's going to be there. It's our protection from our body. And scraping it off all the time to get it lower, that is only compromising your microbiome on the surface of your skin. And it's always in the state of inflammation. It's only going to come back. So all the years that I was doing those excessive peels, I saw pigmentation just increasing more and more and more. And so when I did become officially holistic, you know, we don't do those things, but I'm able to do things that come from the sea. And it's a whole different technology. There's not the burning where you have to hide in your house for 3 weeks. That's just not, and it's still so effective. We use a lot of goat meal. There's a great goat meal by, I believe it's Sea Skin also, that they use that. Of course, that's lactic acid, but it's got all the vitamins in it. So you use it a couple times before you go to bed at night, and that really keeps your skin nice in between your facials and so forth. But I'm going to, because this will feel good, like I said, you could take your gua sha, or you can take your jade roller and work this in, or you could take your leaf. And there'll be one more thing that I do after this, and you think, wow. But like I said, I like to just go for all. So we'll work this in. And this is also helping the lymph come up here. Just do lymph drainage. And then work it down. Okay, now this has only been about, it's only been about 5 minutes, so I'm going to fold it up. And normally I would leave it on 15 and just, so I'm going to fold it up so she can put it back in her little bag and use it tomorrow. Like I said, there's so much more serum in here. And the other thing that I'm going to show you today is my microcurrent on the leaf. And so what I'm going to need for that is some glide gel. And let me find my glide gel. And I'm not sure, but I think that a coat of one of my favorite products from Desembre is the honey jojoba. Let's see what it's, I always forget the name. Jojoba and honey, and it will either go on like an emulsion, or you can use it with water that'll make it into a creamy substance, which I love. And I even use it on the feet. I'm starting to use it on my pedicures. So we have gone into the third mode on my leaf. And this is microcurrent. Very strong. So you might want to start out a little, but they can feel. I'm working on her chest right now. And they can feel their muscles jumping. Of course, me, I always turn everything on high. So I'm going to do this, and this is just going to be so tightening to the skin. Work that microcurrent in. And I can do this, well, there's a couple things I can do. I also have what's called a Time Master Pro, which is ultrasonic, a very strong ultrasonic. But I will just keep working this in. And it's really, the client can feel those muscles twitching. And it's plumping, it's so plumping. Sometimes when you get to the forehead, because there's not a lot of fat there, but I'm going to work it in her eye area. In fact, if you did it for about 10 minutes on the eye, one would be a lot higher than the other. I like to get under those cheekbones where that fascia has kind of formed its little own home. And we want to break that up so we can get some build up there, rebuild those fat cells. Because again, that's what's going to help pull this up. I don't think you'd want to do this if you just had Botox, because it would cause it to roam. But this is a lot of the stuff we're using is called Aptox, and it's a derivative of, it's not a toxin, but it's a natural ampule that will help do, and we've got several peptides that, so you can see the clients jumping. All right, again, I would do that for much longer. Then I'm going to wipe off the Glide Gel if I don't want it. And again, I have kind of rushed through this, cutting times just for training and recording. And this was the O2. I will list all the products, also what I used. And you know, I find this, you know, we've all been trained by different companies. We still have different companies that we sell, but this is increasing our back bar arsenal. I know most American companies don't even have ampules. They don't have masks. They have, you know, your typical cream masks and so forth, and but they don't have the collagen. But there's just, you know, your clients, they get so excited. Oh, what are you going to do this week? Okay, well, we got to figure out what your skin's doing and what's on our. So Korea has added a lot of back bar treatments, like the V line, the 24 karat gold. I always like to take the V line and incorporate it with the 24 karat gold because gold is so healing. And now with the C-Skin products, that has platinum in it. And you know, we know that what silver and does to the skin, it's so regenerating. It has been for all of mankind. What I'm going to be putting on her today, I'm not going to send her out in the sun, so I'm not going to worry about sunscreen. But I'm going to be using the 24 karat plus. And I'm also going to put on a little of the serum concentrate, the 7 PGA. Again, more stuff. Work that in of all the wonderful peptides. Get that in because she's going to go home and take a nap. Exactly right, huh? You're going to have a beautiful face. And so that's incorporated in this also. So this 24 karat plus, I think I'm saying it right, is wonderful moisturizer. Boy, does it do the hydration. It also has all the secret ingredients. I believe it has, I might be talking out of school here, but has all the salmon and sperm and boy, now I'm forgetting here. Snail slime. And snail slime, salmon sperm, they're all growth factors. And they come naturally. And you can see, I'll show you, when you can really see it, anything that has that, which almost everything from Korea does, I'm going to show you. If I can get it out of here. But it's, see how, it's stringy. So people, that's a little bit getting used to. Some people think it's kind of creepy, but I don't. It does the trick. But that's my completion today. If you have any questions or anything, if you would like to, I'm not going to be putting this on live. It's recorded previously. But if you have questions, please email me or go to my website if you want to be part of Kathy's Aesthetic group on Facebook. It's a private group. You're welcome. I'm going to be posting this on there. And if I have enough questions, I'll actually go live and answer those questions. But thank you so much, and I'll look forward to seeing you again with another treatment.